Hey everyone, welcome to A Moment with Michelle. It is Wednesday at 1 o'clock and we have been talking about Enneagram. We've been specifically talking about the different types, and today we're going to talk about type 3. So if you know you're a type 3, you're in the right place. If you're curious and want to figure out what your type is, you're in the right place. And let me give you just a quick, inadequate, but brief nutshell of what the Enneagram is. All of us are motivated by our values. In fact, this is a whole nother thing for us to talk about sometime. If you understand what you value, the top 3 things you value, and your life feels a little angsty, you just don't feel quite right, there's a chance that what you're valuing and what you're doing with your life don't line up. That's her freebie today. But the Enneagram takes values, 9 values, that tend to drive or motivate us and puts them in these typologies, which help us understand when our value is challenged, we get vulnerable, and when we're vulnerable, we begin to overcompensate. That's, in a nutshell, what the Enneagram does for us. Now, obviously, it's much more complicated than that, but that's me trying to just narrow it down to something really quick. So type 3s are optimistic. They're big dreamers. They're focused. They inspire people to follow them. They're competitive, even in Monopoly. They're ambitious. They're compulsive doers. So I want you to think about when you were in your 20s. Now, if you're in your 20s, this will be easy for you. But if not, when you were in your 20s, what did you look like? How did you behave? How did you act? How did you think? That helps you narrow down what typology you are on the Enneagram when you think about yourself in your 20s. So you might be an Enneagram Type 3 if setting goals and completing goals are fun for you. You try to avoid failure at all costs. Making a good impression is really important to you. You're witty and enjoy intelligent conversation. You enjoy winning. You care deeply about your image. You are a go-getter. And you don't give up easily. If those things are true about you, you're probably an Enneagram Type 3. And the Type 3s really value reliable action. Man, they're active people. They like to take action. And when they start to feel vulnerable, they can move into what I would call vain workaholism. And they begin to overcompensate. When they feel vulnerable, they begin to overcompensate. And the way they do that is they project an image they believe the crowd really wants. So it doesn't matter what crowd they're with, they can project a different image depending on what that crowd really wants. Now, the Type 3 I call the achiever. And the incredible thing about the Type 3, kind of the superpower of the Type 3, is they have laser focus. Man, they can drill down and get focused. And they can mobilize a team to get focused. So that is their superpower. Now, if you are recognizing one of your children, if you're still raising children, and if you are recognizing one of your children in this, I have a couple of tips for you for raising Enneagram Type 3s. One is create an atmosphere of authenticity in your home, a place where they can be themselves. Because remember, Enneagram 3s tend to give the crowd whatever image they're looking for. So if your home can be a place they can just be themselves. And then ask your children what they like. Help them uncover what they like and what they dislike, because they will tend to take what you like or dislike, or someone in the household likes or dislikes. If you can help them understand who they are and get in touch with that, because they morph with the crowd, it'll be such a huge thing for them to have a place to be authentic and have someone help them know what they like and dislike. And then the third suggestion I would have for anybody that's raising Enneagram 3s is simply help them relax. Now, if you are an Enneagram 3, if you recognize yourself in this list that we went through, there are some things that you can do. Now, here's the deal with the Enneagram. The point of the Enneagram, the whole purpose of the Enneagram, is to show you how you have put yourself in a box and what you can do to get outside of that box. Remember, the value drives you, and then when you feel vulnerable, you begin to overcompensate, you put yourself in a box. And so some things that Enneagram 3s could do to get out of the box, to develop themselves personally, is what we're saying, is develop a practice of silence. Now, this is good for all of us, regardless of what type we are, but Enneagram 3s, man, this is absolutely necessary for you. Whatever that looks like, practice of silence. If that's meditation, prayer, yoga, walk in the park, I don't know what it is, but develop a practice of silence. Enneagram Type 3s, you need that desperately. The second tip I would give you is challenge your definition of success. Type 3s are all about success, being successful, in fact, avoiding failure. And so challenge that definition. You probably acquired a definition from someplace else. So craft a new one based on who you really are. What is your new definition of success? And then the third tip, we'll wrap up with this, take an inventory of what gets sacrificed when you are frantically running towards the finish line. What gets sacrificed, or maybe who gets sacrificed? Those are 3 really great tips to move you outside the box that you've put yourself in. And that is develop a practice of silence, challenge your definition of success, and then take an inventory of what gets sacrificed when you're on the run. I'm Michele Gooch with Life by Design. I know you want to live a life with some real direction, with some real purpose, your own authentic you. You want to live that life. And I want to help you with that because I get it. What happens is we lose track of who we are and we can't live that life. And we begin to think we're not enough. And none of us should be going around believing we are not enough. I totally understand that. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I know that this place of I'm not enough can leave you paralyzed to move forward. And so I have had a unique privilege to design a framework that will move us from this place of not enough, feeling like I'm not enough, second guessing myself, to the place of being on our way to where we want to go. If that's something you're looking for, find me at www.lifebydesign.guru, lifebydesign.guru, and we can partner together to move you forward. See you next Wednesday at 1. We'll talk about Type 4s. Bye.